Yeah. Y'all should know we are live and direct. Uh, we're covering uh, the YSL trial, Little Woody. It's a disgusting display of miscarriage of justice and just a really bad put together trial. The Fulton County is itself in Georgia under investigation right now for just a lot of different compromise, corruption allegations, and inappropriate activities. Um, right now we covering testimony of little Woody. He's on the stand right now, and let's go right into it, man, because um, this is going on long enough. This trial, and we just really want to get it over with. We got a lot of different issues with the commentary that we want to go through on the substance and the application of law from Woody and Thug's lawyers and the other defendants' lawyers, where they could have put a stop to this. And they might have dropped the ball on it. But let's get right into the trial and yeah, see what's happening with it.
That while you were in Miami, he wasn't happy with you being around him anymore. It felt different.
Who?
That Thug, you weren't, excuse me, as you weren't Thug. That Thug wasn't happy with you being around. It felt different to you.
I don't recall. I don't recall being in Miami. Dr. Nut was killed.
Yeah, it's not what you said last time. How's the jury going to disregard that if he answered the question differently last time?
Right.
Now, in that same interview that you had with Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis, did you speak with them about, do you recall talking to them about Moonsook and that you encouraged Moonsook that he should come down and talk to the police as well regarding Donovan Thomas's murder?
I don't recall what I told no investigators.
Okay. Isn't it true that you told them that because people were calling his name in the murder, he should come down and speak to the police?
The only truth it is,
Yep, it's heating up right now.
I don't know about nothing going
Little
on.
Woody's on the stand,
Why
and
would you
it
even
seems
bring up
like I'm
something about Moonsook coming down
having
and
a
hear his
slight
name?
difficulty with my
I'm speaking in a general,
my
like you got me
sound
up here,
here.
like I know what's going on. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, so I'm asking you now.
I don't remember what I don't told the police. I keep telling you that. You can't ask me what I told the police if I'm telling you that I lied to the police. I can't remember no lie.
Mr. Copeland,
Yes.
I think that she understands, generally speaking, what your position is with regard to what you remember and what you don't, but she's still going to ask you specific questions and you need to answer the specific questions also. And you don't have to preface every one of them with your general position about it.
Yes, ma'am. But Your Honor, may I speak? I'm not trying
Wait
to.
till there's another question on the floor. And I understand.
I'm not trying to be difficult.
I understand. Go ahead, Ms. Silver.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I had to stop sharing for a minute to go back in it and see exactly. Yeah, let's get right back into it.
With Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis, do you recall telling Detective Gaither, or didn't you tell Detective Gaither and Dennis that you were trying to hook Bloody J and Thug back together?
How would I don't recall.
Okay.
Yeah, this guy Woody, he's a fool, man. He's a fool.
And matter of fact, didn't you tell Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis that Thug and Bloody J had a falling out because Bloody J joined IFCA?
If you going off what I said in the past, to what I told the investigators, that's crazy. I do not remember what I said. You can't get me up here to try to remember what I said to them. I don't remember what I said. You can ask me these step by step, but my response is my response. You want me to be honest? You want me to lie? I can't answer your question because I can't remember what I said. So I don't recall.
So I'm going to ask you now. Did Bloody J and Thug stop being friends because Bloody J started messing with IFCA?
Thug behind you, ask him.
I'm asking you.
Huh?
I'm asking you.
I don't know,
So why would you tell Detective Gates and Detective Dennis that?
ma'am.
Why would you tell Detective Gates and Detective Dennis that? I can't recall.
That was a long one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, going back to the January 28th interview.
So if y'all look at this correctly, right, and you watching it, you'll see that the prosecutors, they got tired of messing with Woody. They got tired of dealing with him, and they've come to the conclusion that
So there's 4
they
interviews
need
altogether.
to
Them
remove
about
him and
briefly about the murder.
strip
Did
him
you
of his
then go into more
so-called
details about the
immunity.
shootout on,
Watch what
well,
they're
not the
doing.
shootout, but the shooting
That's the
of your
reason why
car
you
on the
never
highway. Do you
ever
recall telling them
trust
about who you
a prosecutor, and
shot
you
at your
never
vehicle on the
trust
highway?
a snitch. Look, watch this.
I don't recall. Can I tell you what I do remember?
Is that about the shooting on the highway?
No.
Then no, not right now.
Okay.
Or let me ask you this: do you remember what you told Detective Gaither in January of 2015?
No, I was gonna tell you what I remember from when Nut was killed.
Okay,
What you got, Woody?
let's kill.
I remember everybody said I killed him. That's all I remember.
What?
Where did that come from?
That's the only thing you remember.
That's all I remember. I don't remember nothing that night. I don't remember where I was. I don't remember what I told the investigator. I thought that when they called me down there, I thought I walked in and he let me walk right back out. I don't remember sitting down talking to him. I don't remember him doing no ballistic. I don't remember him. I remember he said one thing and he left. He said, the man sitting on the street and everybody saying you did it. He like, man, I still got a bite on the street. That's all I remember. I thought I walked in and walked back out. I don't remember nothing. Like,
And that was the first time when you went to go speak with Thorpe.
I don't even know if it was. I know.
Yeah, I think something happened with the mic. It all went out.
With whose mic?
All of us. Yeah.
Bring me those legal.
The
Yeah,
mics
bring
went
me
out?
those legal
Yeah, you
files.
don't hear
I don't
him?
have a way to. Yeah.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah, they're gonna stop playing around with this Woody guy.
They're taking a break to fix the mics, guys.
Yeah, they gonna stop playing around.
Oh my gosh. What do y'all think?
Oh, that was brutal to listen to.
Woody is saying that everybody blamed him. Now he's telling the truth on that.
Mhm.
When y'all remember when Nut got killed,
Right, so just putting this into a context from a legal standpoint, right? you got to understand this, right? And this is something that I hope y'all can hear me. This is something that a lot of people, you know, claiming they lawyers and right, lawyers and the greatest legal advocates, and a lot of individuals, right, haven't understood from the beginning and haven't covered from the beginning, right? They haven't understood it and they haven't covered it from the beginning. Um, let me pause this 1 minute. I got a call that I have to take. I'm gonna tune y'all in right back to the lead for a minute.
Was assassinated.
Wow.
Yeah,
Woody is Woody's been in the mix for a while. Do you have any cash apps that you wanted to shout out?
Yeah, thank you again to Viva Woodlife for that super large one. Thank you so much, Viva. Shout out to Marcus. He sends me $10. Marcus says, I'm trying to get your number and a date. Thank you, Marcus.
Shout out to Marcus. Listen, shoot, okay? Shooter said, what's the number and what's the date?
Too funny. Thank you, Marcus. Shout out to Mike with $5. Says, cup of coffee to watch these YSL cases. Man, I was just thinking about an afternoon cup after watching all of that debauchery.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mike. Shout out to Trakisha. She sends $5. She has a question. She says, is Woody doing more good or harm? I'm stressed out.
She's stressed. Boy.
Yeah, Trakisha. I mean, it is interesting because I've caught a few things that he's already contradicted himself on based off of that last testimony. And remember, when the jury came back in, the judge asked them, are you guys going to be able to set aside? Because we're going to strike everything that he has said on the stand before. Now, with that reset, we're seeing him say different things this time. But he's also telling us he's full of shit, that he's a liar. So it's crazy. It is crazy. But that catches me up over here on my end lead.
100%. Big shout out to the little game. Little game channel says, hey man, they grab zippers in Atlanta, not in Cali. All right. That is not true. I think, don't y'all got a place in Cali called San Francisco? I mean, you could talk about Atlanta if you want to, fine, but you the last place that need to be talking, okay?
San Franny.
All right, San Francisco and Atlanta, neck and neck. All right, so neck. The little gaming channel forgot all about that. All right, if anybody else would have said it, it would have been Texas or New York or something, fine. But San Francisco, California, no sir. No, we are not going to allow that from you. Okay, shout out to the little gaming channel, but no sir. Not when you got a whole San Francisco over there. I don't even want to hear it. All right, so shout out to the little gaming channel. Thank you so much, little gaming channel. One of the principal supporters of the lead attorney of this whole channel, of me and AV. Thank you so much, little gaming channel. All right. When they say people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, okay?
He said it ain't South Central.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm just saying. All right. Listen, we are waiting for the judge to come back. She has taken a small recess to try to fix the microphones. The microphones kind of went out over here. Y'all know, listen, Atlanta is a black courthouse, all right? And y'all know how that goes. Shout out to Sherilyn. Shout out to Sherilyn. Tate has become a member. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are waiting for the judge to come back. We were pocket watching, guys, and I was showing you how much the judge made. We kind of looked at how much Judge Glanville made, and a lot of y'all were shocked that he was the chief judge and was making $139,000. I said, well, wait a minute now. Let's go on and look up Judge Whitaker and how much Judge Whitaker makes as well. And we looked that up, and it was the same amount, $139,000. Now, is that good? I mean, would you? $139,000 is a good number. In Atlanta, maybe in Cali, where Little Gaming Channel is, you can't do nothing with that. Maybe in upstate New York, New Jersey, all that AV area, you can't do nothing with that. In Atlanta, $140,000 a year, you can do something with that. You absolutely can. I know in certain places you can't. In Atlanta, you really can. That's a lot of money down here. And if you went to like Mississippi or something, or Alabama, you could buy the whole state. All right. But that's how much these judges are making. Now you got to ask yourself, I think the median average in the United States is like 50 grand, 55 grand. Would you take that amount? Would you take, let me pull up my law and crime just to make sure we good. Would you take $140,000 to preside over all this case and be exposed because of the corruption? Now, y'all know I do these consults, and I'm getting so many consults from people who are doctors, people who are dentists, people who are attorneys. Every time I look, every week there are new attorneys coming on to YouTube. Why? Why are they coming on? Why are they like, man, we got to get out of the game? You would think attorneys would want to stay in the courtroom, make $140,000, right? Let me show you guys something right quick though. Let me show you how we exposing Judge Glanville, we exposing Judge Whitaker. How much does the lead make? How much does the lead attorney make? Right? And what is this live streaming thing? Well, let's just take a look right quick. Bam, right? You got $116,000. Now that's not too far off from what Judge Whitaker makes. She makes 140. I make 116. The thing about this 116 though, guys, is that this is for half of the year. All right. This is for half of the year. So you got to double the 116. So that's like 2 something, right? But then that's the thing, is that's not all. I sell a course on how to do this, how to achieve financial freedom, how to set yourself up, how to do this thing called live streaming. A lot of people don't know how to do it. I sell a course, and the course shows you guys right here. From the course, I have made $154,000. Now, again, this is for half of the year. So you got to add that on to it. And then some of y'all have heard of Rumble. Y'all know I'm on Rumble.
Yeah, let's get back to the essence of this for a minute, man. Like I was saying before, and I went into right. So right. So when you go into this, right? This is something that we got into before, and we wanted to cover So if you look at right, so when that's what I'm trying to find out because I'm still going through different things. But I wanted to continue to show you um how it is and how stupid this guy is and how stupid his lawyers are. Whether it's him or what's the lady's name, Bumpus or Bump Ass. They really stupid because they're not dealing with the fact that obviously like Woody, he does not have immunity. He's so stupid up here, and he thinks that he has this immunity, and he does not have immunity. Yeah, he doesn't have immunity. He thinks he has immunity, and I'm trying to get you guys um the law on it. I'm gonna get you the law on it right now. Right. So if you go into the Georgia codes annotated, you can see what the law says on it, right? But they actually might go back. So let's go back there for a minute. Um, let's go back there for a minute and what it is that I'm talking about, right? You'll see what it is that I'm talking about.
That live streaming has been one of the most important things. Not the money. It's not the money, it's the freedom. the freedom to be able to travel, the freedom to be able to stay home. I haven't woken up and gone to an office in years. Let me tell you something. I want to tell you something. Your boy, I'm in a spare bedroom. The door is right there. I'm at home. I'm in a spare bedroom. Now, a lot of y'all are in a bedroom too. A lot of y'all are at home, but I'm at home making this type of money. $350, buy the course. If you do not like it, fine. Just email me and say, I didn't like it. 100% money back guarantee. So let me put the link in the description with the discount code. The discount code is important. The discount code is important, but buy the course right there. I will pin it to the top, guys. This will be, I'm telling you, to be able to have the freedom to do what you want to do, go where you want to go for no risk. 14-day money back guarantee. And here's the kicker, and I'm going to tell you the kicker right here. This is how you know the course is great. Not because of the money back guarantee, not because I've sold over 1,000 courses, not because the courses are number one on Teachable. How do you know the courses are amazing? This. All right, this. This will show you how the courses are. Because I am a part of the Black community. And if my courses were mediocre or my courses were bad, you would have heard about it. All the lead attorneys scamming. The lead attorney is grifting. Let me tell you something about my courses. Shout out to AV. Let me take the whole screen for a second. None of you, it's 14,000 people in here. Not one of you has heard one thing about my course. Not one. People make videos about me. Some of them are good. Some of them are atrocious. They're so bad and insulting, which is fine. No one has made one video, made one negative comment about my course. Not one. And it's not going to cost you $2,000. It's not going to cost you $2,500. Use the discount code SKILLS. It's going to cost you $350 money back guarantee. Guys, I ain't going to go too far in it, but just try it. If you don't like it, email me. Just try it, guys. Just try it. All right. So shout out to the course. Shout out to everybody. Listen, I am 44 years. When I started, I was 44 years old. I'm 47. And a lot of us older people, we're like, I'm too old. That's for the kids. Let me tell you something. If you are 35 years or older, listen to me. If you're 35 years or older, you have knowledge. You have wisdom, you have experience. Shout out to AV. Next year, she's going to have all this knowledge and experience. She go hit to 35. Next year, she got to wait on it.
Oh, no, it's this year. I got a month or so before.
All right, let's get the birthday stream going. In a month, she's going to have knowledge and wisdom. If you are 35 years or older, you know about certain things about life. Come on here, guys. This is the new place. And I know if you're older, you're like, no, I don't really know. Just try it. Just try it. All right. Let's check out the courtroom. Let's see if they are back.
I don't think they are yet.
They're not back. They are trying to fix the microphone situation.
Damn, somebody said I'm expired.
How you expired? You ain't even 35 yet.
Jeez.
Y'all are hardcore, boy.
I mean, you're expired at 34, I guess. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
Men are horrible with that.
Men are horrible. Wait.
I said they're horrible with that, meaning like hitting the wall and the age, like they're standing.
One person said one thing and now men are horrible.
I said with the age thing. I mean, I get it, but
oh my God. These light skins be sensitive. That's the thing. Y'all talk so much shit about me. I don't care. But if you light skin, you them light eyes, you got to be a little sensitive. All right. So shout out to AV, man. She ain't nowhere expired. We are here with the Law and Crime, waiting for them to get back online. They stopped it to fix the microphones. How do y'all think Woody is doing? It is a bunch of I don't recalls. It's a bunch of It's a bunch of, I didn't do this. I didn't do that. I did do this. Everybody thinks I did do that. Here's the upshot. Woody is the state's star witness. This is going to tell you all you need to know. If you have to treat your star witness as a hostile witness, it's a wrap. All right. If you have to treat your star witness as a hostile witness, it's a wrap.
Things working okay, so
Oh, we back.
we will get Mr. Copeland back out up here, get the jury back out. And
Marcus says you need to give a course on them paralegals. Okay.
yes,
I gave Woody the course for free. I gave Woody the beginners and the advanced course. Wait, what happened?
and I'm sorry, I know there are a whole lot of different Rule 22s out. I assume you've got one of them. Okay, so, I guess that just means you're gonna have to, we can't make the courtroom bigger than it is. You'll just have to get here earlier. I guess you're the odd man out today. Sorry. Just do the best you can. Just try not to be distracting, okay? Thank you. No, you cannot stand in the middle. Nobody needs to be standing in the middle. So just do the best you can from there, or any one of the media aisles you're welcome to be in. All right, thank you.
Y'all remember there was an issue when Kayla Bumpus tried to get a Rule 22 and was denied. The
All
judge
right, let's get the jury back out.
the judge is very intent on there being as little
Hang
distractions as
on,
possible.
sorry. Thanks.
Shout out to Marcus. Marcus, come
That
on
should
over to
be your
YouTube.
goal. It's hard to keep track. We got somebody for everybody? All right, yes.
I have it.
Tylenol? Yeah, no, that's fine.
Let's go. Let's bring the jury back in. We ready for the fireworks.
Thank you. All right, I think we've gotten our mic situation fixed for at least the present time, so we're gonna get rolling again. Go ahead, Ms. Hilton.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, during this same interview, I think I just asked before we went on break that you saw that it was a grayish Impala that was shooting at you on the highway. Do you recall? Did you tell investigator Gaither and Dennis that in this January interview?
I don't recall what I told them.
When you were shot at on the highway while in your brother's vehicle, was there anyone else with you?
I don't recall.
Was Demekion with you?
I don't recall.
What about Shannon?
Who?
Shannon.
I don't recall.
With this incident that happened on the highway and you being shot at in the vehicle, did you tell Detective Gaither and Dennis that you had your brother file a police report?
I don't recall.
And do you recall them asking you, why did you have your brother file a police report?
I don't recall.
Okay. And you told them because you didn't have a license.
I don't recall.
And were you ever arrested for filing a false police report in January of 2015?
I don't comprehend my charges.
Okay. When you had this interview in January 2015, did you leave that interview with Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis?
You said January?
Yes.
I went to jail in February. So I didn't go to jail in January.
So is it fair to say that you did not get locked up for filing a false police report?
I guess, I don't know. I can't find no false police report. I didn't make it.
As a matter of fact, do you recall that Gaither and Dennis told you that in this case you were a victim? So they just wanted to find out from you what happened because you were a victim, because you were shot at on the highway.
Yeah, that's how they were tricking me. But I don't recall saying it.
Now, in that same interview, do you recall Detective Dennis and Detective Gaither telling you that you probably should leave Atlanta because of everything that was happening to you?
That was everybody telling me now.
Okay. But I'm talking about back in January 2015.
I don't recall.
Okay. And you told me you didn't want to leave Atlanta.
I'm still here.
We in A-Town.
Now, in this same January interview with Gaither and Dennis, again, do you tell them again that you had nothing to do with Nut being killed?
I don't recall.
Okay. And that you wanted to make sure that the police knew you had nothing to do with Nut getting killed?
I don't recall what I told the police.
Also, during this same interview back in January of 2015, then do you recall telling Detective Gates and Detective Dennis that you had one of your friends buy a gun for you?
I don't recall.
And that your friend bought this gun in his name?
I don't recall.
Shout out to Jay, and the answer is yes. The courses, if you purchase them, lifetime guaranteed.
And
Guys.
that the reason why you purchased the gun was to defend your house?
I don't recall.
Okay. And that you actually told the detective you don't want any trouble, you just want to protect your home. Do you recall telling Detective Gates and Detective Dennis that?
I don't recall.
And in January 2015, had you been convicted of a felony prior to January 2015?
Huh?
Prior to January 2015, had you previously been convicted of a felony?
I don't know. What you mean?
Do you remember when you were first convicted of a felony?
After my mama died?
About when was that?
After she died.
Okay, when did your mom pass away?
2008.
All right. So if you caught your first felony after 2008, is it safe to say in 2015 you had been convicted of a felony?
I don't recall.
All right. When you told the police that you had a gun in this January interview, were you arrested for telling them that you had a gun in this January interview?
Was I arrested in January?
Yes,
What year?
2015.
No, I got locked up in February.
All right. So even after you told them that you had a gun, the police in this January interview did not arrest you.
I ain't had no gun.
Did you tell the detectives you had a gun?
Mm-mm. I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't think I'll tell them I had one.
Now, in the same January 2015 interview,
No person is
you
charged in
also
a
told
criminal
Detective
proceeding
Gaither
with the
and Detective
commission.
Dennis about this meeting with an individual by the name of Mo, who wanted you and Thug killed. Is that true?
How would I know? I don't know.
Okay. You don't know about the meeting, or you don't know if you told Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis about this so-called meeting.
How would I know somebody want us killed?
Okay. So is it true though that you told Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis about this meeting with
I
Mo?
told and them people anything. Just like right now, me, you can have a whole conversation. I tell you about some stuff that never took place, and you'll swear that everything I'm speaking on was the God and it's true.
Okay. But now you've told two detectives, first Thorpe, now Gaither and Dennis, so excuse me, three detectives, about this meeting that Mo had and that they were going to kill you and Thug.
I'm gonna play it.
All right, I think that was supposed to be a question.
I'll
Did
rephrase
you
it.
have it implied? Is that right at the end of it?
Yes.
Try to just form it into a question.
Yes, Your Honor. Isn't it true that you told Detective Thorpe and Detective Gaither and Dennis about this meeting that Mo had in which you and Thug were supposed to be killed?
I tell you, I'm gonna play a victim in every situation.
And you actually gave them details about this meeting. Is that correct?
I don't know what I told the investigators.
Matter of fact, you told the investigators somebody else that was in there that felt like I deserved to know. They came back and they said, hey, I had to get rid of everybody, bro. But they said they're going to kill you. They're going to take me to a gas station and kill me. Like, who's saying it? Mo, and everybody said, woo. Bloody J was on the phone with Mo, standing next to the person that was telling me. Said he ain't know the name of the person that was talking. And after everybody, I just said, kill him. And Bloody J said, woo. And everybody said, woo, woo. As in, that's a confirmation that they were supposed to go and kill you or have you killed.
Things don't work that way. When you speaking on doing something like that, you don't be open about it. So this self-explanatory that it's a lie. You don't discuss killing people with multiple people. So you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. You're not gonna be telling everybody you're gonna do it. I made it up. I keep telling you that.
And did you tell the detectives that that occurred at a gang meeting that you were not at? So someone at the gang meeting told you about what happened at the gang meeting.
I don't recall what I told the investigators, but I know that the things that anytime that they sat me down and they tried to question me, I knew I was about to go to jail. And even the times I didn't go to jail, I knew that I had done something stupid and I thought they was on to me. So I was trying to throw them off my trail.
And that this meeting happened before Donovan was killed.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. And that the reason why they wanted to kill you is because they thought that you had Bloody J jumped.
Huh?
The reason why they wanted to kill you is because you had Bloody J jumped.
I believe that if any gang wanted to kill me, I'd be dead by now.
And you also, in the same interview with Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis, you told Detective Gaither and Dennis that you actually texted Bloody J and asked him whether or not they had a hit on you.
No.
But he never responded to you.
I
No,
don't remember. I don't recall. I don't know nothing about none of it. I wouldn't have their number and they wouldn't have mine.
Now, back when you were interviewing with the detectives, both Thorpe and now the second interview with Gaither and Dennis, were you the only individual in the room with the detectives?
I don't know.
Looking at that picture, are you the only person in the room with the detectives?
This one?
Yeah, if you look at 378, Yankee Bravo and Yankee Alpha.
It looked like I'm in there by myself beside with the police.
Okay. And this is when you're telling the detectives all the things that I'm asking you about, correct?
I don't recall what I done told them.
Now, do you know an individual, Rich, who goes by the name Rich Homie Quan?
Who is that?
Do you know a person who goes by the name of Rich Homie Quan?
Rich Homie Coin?
Yes.
Or the rapper?
He raps.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know him? Have you ever spoken to Rich Homie Quan yourself?
No.
Do you recall
I don't recall speaking to him.
Do you recall talking to Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis in the same interview about conversations you had with Rich Homie Quan?
No, I do not recall having a conversation about Rich Homie Coin.
And that Rich Homie Quan, you told Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis that Rich Homie Quan was a part of If Gang.
I don't recall.
Okay. And that you told Detective Gaither and Dennis that Rich Homie Quan felt torn between being with If Gang and being friends with Thug.
Again, I'm just telling police whatever they convince them that I know what I'm talking about.
Okay. So why would you bring Rich Homie Quan into any of it? Why would that be
Because
necessary?
I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't hear you.
Why would it be necessary to even talk about Rich Homie Quan
So
to the police?
So when the police question me, my whole motive is to get them off of me. So if they sitting me down, laughing, hee ha ha, like you doing when y'all was up there asking me, and I told you I was lying. This is the same thing going on. They sit here. I don't know about them asking me about Rich Homie Coin or nothing. But if they bring up a name, if they ask me something, I'm going to come up with something that act like I'm in the midst, like I know what's going on. I don't sit around and gospel with people. I don't sit in people's faces. Like I'm out in the streets. I like to be I like to be outside. I'm not sitting around trying to listen to what nobody got to say.
Okay. But when you originally went to the police, it was to talk about being shot at on the highway. So what would anything about Rich Homie Quan, why would you need to talk about Rich Homie Quan at all?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
Okay. Isn't it true that that you told the detectives that Rich Homie Quan said to you, we the same set. You right here hitting these niggas, this and that. So we talk. We the same set. I just can't turn my back on them. Like it ain't that, bro. This is what you're telling him. You supporting these niggas. Bro, I'm telling you, the more you supporting them, the more they're gonna come out and do that. If you leave them alone, then everything gonna go away.
Wow.
And this is what you're telling Detective Gaither and Dennis that you said to Rich Homie Quan.
So let me. Gaten was a gang investigator, and what she do is she sit in the neighborhood, watch us all day, and she put cases on it. So I know Gaten to sit there, and so when I'm interacting with Gaten, the main thing go through my mind is to convince her that I know what I'm talking about. That was my motive. So be bringing up Rich Homie Coin ain't never been like that in my eyes. So for me to be, I'm just trying to make it seem like I know what I'm talking about. What they said they want a big fish, and he's a big rapper. So shit, I'm trying to make up whatever I can come up with. I don't know. I don't remember what I said to no police. It's all stuff I just off the top of my dome. You ask me a question right now, I go out the top of my dome, and I convince you that I'm telling the truth.
Wow.
Okay, so in response, you said that Rich Homie Quan asked for your protection. And he said, you told detectives, then he's like, why don't you protect me, bro? We need y'all, bro. I need y'all to protect me. And you said, how the hell are we gonna protect you?
Can you say it again?
Sure. In the same interview with Detective Gaither, you said after you spoke with Rich Homie Quan asked for your protection.
He a millionaire. What he need my protection for?
Why would you tell Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis that?
They the police and they trying to get me.
Okay.
They're trying to get me.
It's like he's being hunted.
For
Do you
real.
recall telling Detective Gaither about Rich Homie Quan's father's barbershop being shot up?
I don't recall nothing I said to no investigators.
And
A detective.
he thought that someone by the name of Tay shot up his father's barbershop?
I told you I did it.
No.
Oh,
You told the detectives that Rich Homie Quan thought that a person named Tay shot up his father's barbershop.
well, I probably did. Ain't no telling.
But you were convinced that it wasn't Tay that shot up the barbershop.
What you mean?
You told Detective Gaither Dennis that you don't think it was Tay that shot up his father's barbershop.
So I told him he did it, or I told him he didn't do it. Which one is it?
You told them that Rich Homie Quan thought that Tay did it.
Okay, so then I told the police,
Correct.
and then I told him that he didn't do it.
That you did not think he did it. Correct.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, I'm not hearing a question
You
either.
heard that her voice goes up at the end. Well, it may be that too, but yes, these are questions.
Do you need me to repeat it? Okay. In your interview with Detective Gaither, did you tell Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis that Rich Homie Quan thought an individual by the name of Tay shot up Rich Homie Quan's father's barbershop?
I don't recall.
Okay. In that same interview, did you also tell them that you did not think that Tay shot up the barbershop?
You confusing me.
I'll repeat it one more time and I'll separate it. In this interview with Detective Gaither, did you tell Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis that Rich Homie Quan thought?
Overruled, because it's certainly been asked twice or more, but it hasn't clearly been answered. He's sitting there saying right now, I will ask me, I'm confused. So I'm going to permit her to try to break it down and ask it again.
So I'll start over. In this interview with Gaither and Dennis, did you tell Gaither and Dennis that Rich Homie Quan thought that a person by the name of Tay shot his father's barbershop?
I don't recall what I told the police, but I don't know.
All right. Now, my second question is, in that same interview, did you tell Detective Gaither and Dennis you did not believe that Tay shot up the barbershop?
I don't know. I don't remember what I said to them.
And I should ask this, do you know an individual, Tay, who's from Bankhead?
It's a mean taste in them.
Do you know a Tay from Bankhead?
A tape from Bankhead,
Yes.
not off the top.
In this same interview, did you tell Detective Gaither about this individual named Tay from Bankhead?
I don't know a tape from Bankhead.
Do you know a Tay from the west side of Atlanta?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
How many Tays do you know from the west side of Atlanta?
Too many on the count. But not from Bankhead.
Is this working with the jury, guys? Do y'all think this is working with the jury? The jury is sitting right there in the room looking at Attorney Hilton. Does the jury think she's doing a good job? What is she proving? This is the trial. We're in the middle of trial. This attorney is supposed to be proving something. She is supposed to be proving crimes beyond a reasonable doubt. What crime? We've been here all day. What crime has she proven?
We're just getting a bunch of I don't recalls and I don't remembers.
Now, back in January of 2015, did you ever learn about, strike that, do you know someone that goes by the name of Lucci?
Who?
Lucci. A rapper by the name of YFN Lucci.
Look at all those post-its that Love has given
What
her.
about him?
Do you know an individual by the
No.
name of YFN Lucci?
I don't know in person.
Okay.
That is
Have
so
you
many.
ever met this individual?
You said, have I ever met him?
Yes.
No.
When you say you don't know him personally, what do you mean?
Because you said, have you ever met? We never shook hands. I never met him.
Okay. How would you describe knowing YFN Lucci?
He's a rapper.
Okay. Do you know him outside of being a rapper?
No.
Okay. In 2015, were you aware of his mother's home being shot at twice, excuse me. You're shaking your head.
I don't know nothing about him.
Okay. Do you recall in this January interview with Detective Gates and Detective Dennis talking to them about Lucci's mother's house being shot at?
I don't remember. I don't recall.
Do you recall telling Detective Gates and Detective Dennis that people thought that you shot up Lucci's mother's house?
I don't know nothing about it.
Okay. Do you recall in this same interview back in January of 2015 with Gaither and Dennis that you were with Big Boo when Lucci's manager called trying to find out who shot up Lucci's mother's house?
I don't recall.
Okay. And do you recall during this same interview telling Detective Gaither that when the manager called Big Boo, you were present and overheard the conversation?
I don't recall.
And in the same interview, you told Detective Gaither that the manager told Big Boo that he had $20,000 for whoever shot at Lucci's mother's house.
I don't know nothing about it.
Okay. And that you actually took the phone from Big Boo and told them that you had nothing to do with shooting up Lucci's mother's house.
Okay.
Okay. Do you remember telling the detectives about
I don't
that?
recall.
Did that occur?
I don't know.
You don't know if you were present with Big Boo and took the phone away from him?
I don't know what y'all talking about.
Why would you need to tell Detective Gates and Detective Dennis that if that did not occur?
'Cause these things I'm hearing in the street, so I'm trying to convince them to get off of me.
Shout out to the Little Gaming Channel who also sent
Specifically,
me
did
100.
you tell Detective Gaither that when
Thank
you took
you,
the
Little
phone,
Gaming Channel.
you said, man, I ain't
Oh,
did nothing like that, bro.
TLBC.
don't scream my name. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I ain't said he did. I ain't do that. I don't care about none of that. I didn't do that.
I don't recall.
And did you actually tell Detective Gates and Detective Dennis that you were concerned because you thought that Boo was going to set you up and tell people that you shot Lucci so he can get the $20,000?
Huh?
Did you, in the same interview, tell Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis that you thought Boo would have set you up and told people you shot at Lucci's mother's house to get the $20,000?
I don't know nothing about that. I don't recall.
And after that phone call that with Big Boo, you were so upset that you had Montel take you home because of that phone call.
I don't know. I don't recall.
And you also told Detective Gaither that when you got into the car with Montel after this phone call, you told Montel, Boo tripping. Boo gonna try to get, you know what I'm saying? And Montel said, we got to stay away from them.
Nah, I don't recall. I supposed to be saying this stuff?
Yes.
Oh, nah.
Were you the only person in the interview room with Gaither and Dennis based on those pictures that are in front of you?
I was the only person in the room when I was telling you I made these lies up too.
Mm. This is her star witness. This black lady is questioning this black man, and the black man is her star witness to the whole case.
Sad.
Somebody write star witness in the chat, man. This is terrible. This is why she broke down crying the first time. Attorney Hilton, after questioning Woody, broke down crying. This is the case she thought would make her career. This is the biggest case in our state's history. This is the biggest case going on in the nation. She thought this case was going to make her
In
career.
the same interview with Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis, did you tell them about your relationship or your friendship with Little D from Cleveland and Shannon?
Huh?
In this interview with Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis, do you recall telling them about your friendship with Little D from Cleveland and Shannon?
No, I don't know nothing about that.
Okay. Is it true that you told them that the people that you're around, that you often hang around back in January 2015, is Little D from Cleveland and Shannon?
No, I don't recall.
And matter of fact, did you say specifically to Detective Gates and Detective Dennis, I keep a couple people around, you know what I'm saying? And Dennis asked who? And you said Little D from Cleveland and Shannon.
Trying to convince him. If I did say it, I don't recall. Like I don't told police so much stuff like just made up. Like I don't remember what I don't told them. So
And then you also said sometimes Moonsoon may come around, but the primary people you hang with is Shannon and Little D from Cleveland. I mean, excuse me, Little D from Mechanicsville.
but let you tell it, you every time you say I'm about to go home Moontoon. So it seemed more like I be with Moontoon more than I be with anybody else.
Okay.
Based off what you saying today. So you know it's all made up.
All right. Did you also hang with Moontoon, Little D from Mechanicsville, did not say Cleveland, and Shannon?
I hang with myself. I don't hang with nobody. I don't run behind nobody. I don't know none of that.
Okay. All right. Well, back in 2015, didn't you tell Detective Copeland, Detective Gaither, Detective Dennis, I really have my trust in him. I wouldn't want nobody around me but little D. And this is little D from Mechanicsville. You know, little D ain't gonna turn his back on me.
That's cap.
He said that's cap.
I don't remember saying it.
Oh, where's my blue cap when you need it?
Do you remember, God bless you, when we were here back around June 10th, June 11th, that you said that little D was the person you called your son?
Who?
Do you remember back in June of this year, around June 10th, June 11th, stating that little D was like your son?
No.
Okay.
He literally did say it though.
No, you don't recall saying that?
I never said Lil D for Cleveland Avenue with my son.
Little D
Oh,
from Mechanicsville.
What y'all talking about?
Oh my
Do
God.
you want me to repeat the question?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't recall.
All right. I'll ask it, then you can answer it truthfully, I hope. Do you recall in June of this year saying that little D from Mechanicsville is like your son?
I don't know.
No, you don't remember saying it? No, you didn't say it. What does I don't know mean?
What you want me to say?
I want you to answer the question.
What's your question?
I'll ask it one more time.
Oh my gosh.
In June of this year, when you were here
This
the
year
last
right
time,
here?
this year right here, when you were here before.
this year right here.
June 10th, June 11th. Do you recall telling me when I asked you about little D from Mechanicsville, telling me he's like your son?
When I said I birthed him?
Yeah.
What?
You're just being sarcastic.
Right. But that was to talk about the closeness of your relationship, correct?
What you mean?
When you say you birthed him, were you trying to what were you trying to indicate when you said you birthed him? What did you mean by that?
That was just an anger statement I made.
Okay. Did you at one point in time have a close relationship with little D from Mechanicsville?
I don't recall.
Okay.
Look at his face.
Yeah, that's squint.
All right. Now, going back to this January 2015 interview with Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis, did you speak to them about Thug seeing you talk to the police regarding Donovan Thomas's murder?
Did I speak to them about thugs? I don't recall.
Roll it out. Roll it out.
The other way.
Do you recall telling the detectives that Thug thought you were snitching because you were talking to the police?
Huh?
In the same January 2015 interview, did you tell Detective Gaither and Dennis that you thought Thug thought that you were snitching because you had been talking to the police after Donovan Thomas's murder?
They don't make sense. So I don't recall.
Okay. Didn't you tell the detectives in this January 2015 interview, Gaither and Dennis, I think I went wrong when I let Thug know that the detectives keep calling me.
You keep talking about what? You finished?
I am.
You keep talking about what I told the investigators. Listen, I know they want to lock me up. I see them following me everywhere I go. I'm in the restaurant eating, they not eating. And they got me down here for questioning. I know they only question me to trap me up to get me. So I told them anything that came to my mind or whatever the case is. They don't make sense.
When you walked into the police department and to talk to Gaither and Dennis, you walked in on your own, correct?
Most of the time, they question me. I was in handcuffs. I don't.
In early 2015, isn't it true you met with the detectives 5 times?
Let me tell you more than that.
Okay.
I don't know how many times I met with them. I just know that they police questioned me every time that I was in handcuffs.
In front of me, you have 2 dates, correct? Is that January 11th and January 28th?
Yes.
Permission to approach.
You may.
More
I'm
pictures.
gonna show you what's been marked as Stacy Exhibit 378, Yankee Charlie 1. Does that date say February 20th, 2015?
Yes.
Now I'm gonna show you 378, Yankee Delta 1. Does this say February 21st, 2015?
Yes.
And I'm gonna show you 378, Yankee Echo 1. Does this say June 10th, 2015?
Yes.
Those are all the interviews.
Yankee Charlie, Yankee Delta, Yankee Echo. Do you see yourself in those 3 pictures?
Yes.
Right, this time it seems like it's 378 Yankee Charlie 1, Yankee Delta 378 Yankee Delta 1, and 378 Yankee Echo 1. Is that evidence?
Admitted without objection.
Now looking at these 5, on January 11th, were you in handcuffs when you went to go speak with the detectives?
Mm-hmm.
On January 11th, when you walked
You
in,
said January 11th?
yes,
Oh, okay.
were you in handcuffs?
Nah, I'm like this.
Looking at January 28th, were you in handcuffs when you went to go speak with the detectives?
No, I'm like this.
All right. On February 20th, were you in handcuffs when you and Deshaun went to go speak with the detectives?
Now I'm like this.
Okay. And were you only arrested on February 21st when you went to speak with the detective because you're in a blue jumpsuit, correct?
Yes.
And on June 10th, you were arrested because that's when they arrested you in the house, correct?
You said what now?
June 10th is when they arrested you at your home, correct?
With the white shirt on?
Yes.
Oh, my hands up on the table. I don't know.
But do you recall June 10th being the day that they came to your house and arrested you?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes? You said, I just need to know, is that a yes for the record?
Oh, I think so.
Okay. Is that the day that you went to jail and you didn't get out till 5 years later?
I started with.
On June 10th. Did you get arrested on June 10th?
Yeah.
Okay. So out of all 5 interviews, you were only arrested 2 times. Is that correct?
I guess.
All right.
That's interesting.
So each of the other times, besides February 21st and June 10th, you walked freely in and out of the Atlanta Police Department. Is that correct?
Wait a minute. What you mean by that?
Wait a minute.
Would you agree that in early 2015, you went to the police, you talked to the police 5 times?
No,
Chris?
more.
Do you have 5 interviews right there?
Yeah, but they had me in the back of their police cars too.
Okay. How many times did you go to the Atlanta Police Department?
On my own?
In 2015. We're gonna talk about just generally 2015.
I don't know. I don't recall.
All right. Do you see 5 different times in front of you?
I got 5 papers in front of me.
Okay. And would you agree they're all different dates?
Yeah, they all got different dates.
All right. And 3 of those 5, you are not in handcuffs. Is that correct?
Yeah, 3 of them I'm not in handcuffs.
And only 2 of them you are in cuffs, or you knew that you were arrested that day. God bless you.
I guess.
All right. The 2 times that you were arrested is February 21st. Is that what you have on the blue jumpsuit?
Okay, right there.
and June 10th when they arrested you at the house. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes for the record?
Yes.
All right. So the other 3 times, January 11th, you came into the Atlanta Police Department on your own.
And pause it right here. Big shout out to the Little Gaming Channel. Said there was a major earthquake in California. I hope Little Gaming Channel is okay, guys.
Yeah, so me myself, I want to pause it for a minute, and I just want to I want to go into a couple of things. And the first thing is this is why the prosecution, especially in this case, they're supposed to have corroborating evidence or other evidence that could point to the suspects in the case. Of course, the big honcho, the elephant in the room, the big cheese, the shark, whatever you want to call him, aka King Slime, Young Thug. You're supposed to have other evidence, because this is a very, 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 very bad application of law, and it's a disgusting trial when a prosecutor's only means of bringing out evidence is to impeach its own witness. This is the evidence that she's trying to bring out, impeaching their own witness. Anytime you find a witness, okay, and they call them a hostile witness, a witness that refuses or doesn't want to testify anymore, you let them go. You let them go. How can you prove a case by fighting with your own witness and he's supposed to be your star witness? You can't. You have to have other evidence. If you have other strong evidence, that means that one witness going rogue like this is not gonna damper your case so much to where you have to even waste time with this guy. You move him from the stand, right? You lock him up. Obviously, he's involved in several crimes, right? And you can find independent evidence to charge him with, and that's it. You let him go. You don't continue to argue with somebody that's gonna be combative to you on the stand. This is a very, very bad, unethical, immoral miscarriage of justice, prosecutorial misconduct. As the district attorney, right? The district attorney assumes, okay, and attempts to have the witness, okay, compulsory or compel himself into providing incriminating evidence against himself, right? So it's like when you look at it, right? You look at it and you look at the law as they have it, right? It'll show you, right? When you look at the law as they have it, it's going to show you. It's going to show you, right? This is the law, right? This is Georgia's law, right? This is Georgia's law, okay? Okay. Is it this one? Or which one is it? Okay, I want to share this tab with you instead, right? So this is Georgia's law on it. This is Georgia's law, right? Okay. It says, no party or witness shall be required to testify as to any manner which may incriminate or tend to incriminate such party or witness or which shall tend to bring infinite disgrace or public contempt upon such party or witness, or any member of such party or witness's family. Okay, so this is the law on it. The law says that you're not supposed to put a witness on the stand, right? You're not supposed to put a witness on the stand that's going to incriminate himself. So Woody, he's playing this whole game that he's playing because obviously he was a main participant in the shootings, and there was a lot of shootings, okay? Especially the one of Donovan Nut Thomas, okay? That is at the central point of this, okay? And he's not going to provide any evidence that's going to incriminate himself, okay? Because let me tell you, Woody is not immune from federal prosecution. He's not immune from federal prosecution, okay? Let's go back into it. We're going to tap into it in a moment. Yeah, we're going to tap into it in a moment, right? We're going to tap into it in a moment.
I don't want to talk to any police or anything. What you talking about?
Did you tell the police when they were asking you about Thug thinking you were snitching? You told the police, because like every time he called, it's like I was right there in front of him and I had walked up. I was like, that was the detective. Like shit, they trying to find out who, and he just felt like I was just making stuff up because I always stutter.
So when you snitching is based off the truth and off facts. Lying and trying to finesse your ways is different things. So there wasn't never the case with, there would never be the case if he concerned about me snitching up. So you only snitching if you telling the police the truth.
And back in 2015, when they were calling you and they were asking you about Nuts' murder, were you telling them that you were not involved in Nuts' murder?
I was telling them everybody. I told them everybody did. I told them Shell killed them. I told them all type of people did. I didn't know. I don't know. Y'all just pick and choose what y'all want to take and use. Did I not say Shell did it?
Did you tell them that you heard that could have been a rumor?
I told you it was a rumor that they said I did too, right?
Right, and you didn't kill him, correct?
How many times you gonna ask me that?
Okay, then. So if you're talking about rumors, the rumors aren't true. You just told them what you heard.
I'm saying what y'all want to pick and choose with. Okay, I don't recall.
And do you recall, because you keep saying that you wanted to finesse the detectives, is that fair? Do you recall them asking you about an event, a shooting on Spring Street where Doug's girlfriend was having a party at a house or at a hotel on Spring Street?
I never heard anything about that a day in my life.
Okay, and do you remember telling them that you knew nothing about those shooting on Spring Street?
I guess I don't know. I don't know what I done told the investigators.
So if you want to finesse them, why wouldn't you just act like you knew about it and just tell them about it?
Because I didn't hear nothing about it. If I would have heard something from like the street saying, I could have been able to, act like I was there or act like I knew, but I couldn't because I never heard anything about it.
Right, but if you're trying to finesse them and you just tell them whatever they wanted to hear,
right,
you could have just told them, yeah, I heard about it.
So I couldn't because I wouldn't be able to speak on nothing where it'd be like, okay, like let's say they would say 2 girls got shot in the butt. I would be like, yeah, I was there, man. The 2 girls got shot in the butt. I couldn't because I never heard nothing about the story at all to be able to say, act as if I knew.
But if you're finessing the police, that means you're just lying anyway, right?
So to finesse the police, you got to act like you have knowledge. You got to act like you know.
Okay. So if you could have just said, yeah, I heard about that shooting.
And I couldn't because I knew his next question was going to be who did it or what happened, where was it? Or I couldn't say anything about I couldn't say anything about nothing. So why would I speak on something and get caught up? I'm not trying to get caught up in my life.
In the same interview, did you also tell Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis that on the Friday before Donovan Thomas was killed, that you went to DJ Drama's studio as well?
If I told the detective something like that, I probably did. I don't.
So investigator Thorpe, when he interviewed you,
I hadn't heard the question yet.
you also told Detective Thorpe about going to DJ Drama Studio that Friday before Nut was killed as well, correct?
I recall.
Okay. So is it fair to say you told Detective Thorpe about going to DJ Drama Studio, then you also told Detective Gaither and Dennis at a later interview about the same series of events leading up to Donovan Thomas's murder?
Can you say that again?
I'm going to give her a little latitude. I think she's trying to get clear what the witness's testimony is. Thank you.
When you first met with Detective Thorpe in January 11th, you told him about going to DJ Drama Studio the night before Donovan Thomas was killed, correct?
I don't recall.
Okay. You also now, in this January 28th interview, you've now told Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis also about this going to DJ Drama's studio the Friday night before Donovan Thomas was killed, correct?
I probably did. I don't remember what. I don't know.
Now,
Right. So you got the little Woody's testimony. You got
during this same January 28th interview, did you tell Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis that you actually owned a chopper, a gun, a chopper?
So it's no point in me trying to protect him no more because he did. But
You were making a comment about someone being deceased and passed away.
what you were saying?
Just go ahead and re-ask your question.
Yeah, my question was, in the same interview with Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis, did you tell them that back in January 2015 that you when they asked you what type of gun you had, and you told them that you had a chopper?
Can you say that again?
Sure. In this same January interview where you're meeting with Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis, they asked you what type of gun you had. Do you recall telling them that you had a chopper?
No, I don't recall what I just said to them.
And that chopper is a chopper that was purchased by Quindarius Zachary or Little D from Cleveland.
I don't recall.
privilege.
Now, I think I just heard you say that someone is dead and you don't need to protect them anymore. Who were you referencing?
Tay threat?
Okay. Is that the young man who passed away a few weeks ago?
Yes.
Okay. What would you be protecting him from?
I don't want to talk about it.
And let me ask you this, back in 2015, were you friends with Tay back in 2015?
Yes.
And one, I'm sorry to hear about your loss. In 2015, was Tay shot at by if gang members while he was sitting in his vehicle back in 2015?
How I supposed to know?
Do you recall talking to Detective Gates and Detective Dennis about him being shot at in his car?
Like, if I see it, I don't recall.
And Trevon, and is his real name Trevante Turner? You're shaking your head. Is that a yes
Yes,
for the record?
yes.
Back in 2015, did Trevante Turner consider himself a part of YSL?
No.
Do you recall Detective Gates and Detective Dennis talking about the fact that he was shot up by If Gang in the midst of the beef between YSL and If Gang?
All right. Straight had beef with Rich Homie Coin.
Oh, we
I
getting
don't know what
detail.
they beef was about, but Straight had beef with Rich Homie Coin, and he was on his ass. Oh, I'm sorry.
Who was on who's behind?
Straight was on Rich Homie,
Okay.
and yeah, Dirt was on Rich Homie, and Drake got into it with Nut Neil. That's it.
And at the time, was Rich Homie Quan claiming affiliation with If Gang?
Huh?
Let me ask this first. Are you talking about Rich Homie Quan and Threat? Was this back in 2015?
What you mean?
What you were just telling
No,
the
it was
jury?
2014. I think it was one of them years.
And at the time, was Rich Homie Quan claiming affiliation with If Gang?
I don't know what Rich Homie was claiming.
And you said that Threat got into it with Nut in them.
I don't know. I don't know how it went, but I know that. Yeah, Threat like that.
Okay. Is that what started the beef between YSL and If Gang?
Threat wasn't YSL. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people, YSL is not what y'all making it be. Like, I keep telling y'all that a person can wake up and say, Atlanta is a monkey see, monkey do city. Like, you see people doing something, you just do it. I mean, and people say, just because I know this person, oh yeah, I say, oh, I take a picture and say I'm YSL or whatever, but Threat was MDC. You know what I mean? There wasn't he wasn't no YSL or that shit.
Did he ever stop claiming MDC and claim YSL?
Nah, we don't switch up. That's just what it is.
And you said he claimed MDC. What's MDC?
I don't know.
Okay, but if you
Moody
said
is
he
starting to
claimed
crack, guys. Somebody put crack
do
in
you
the
not know
damn
what
chat.
MDC stands for?
It's none of my business.
So when you say he's claiming MDC, what do you mean? When you say he's claiming MDC, what do you mean?
I don't ask questions. That's what I mean.
Okay. Is MDC a music group?
Ask them.
I'm asking you.
I think they got rappers. I don't know.
Okay. Are they a music group?
Huh?
Are they a music group?
Woody said, Atlanta's full of monkeys, okay? Jesus, Woody.
Does MDC stand for most dangerous clique?
Ask them.
I'm asking
I'm
you.
from Candyville.
Okay, but you said he claims MDC, so I'm asking you, does it stand for most dangerous clique?
If I say yeah and that ain't what it stands for, you're gonna say I'm lying. So I don't know what it stands for.
Okay. Do you recall telling Detective Gates and Detective Dennis about members of MDC beating up Little D from Mechanicsville in the club, in Club Crucial?
I don't recall. Probably so. I ain't no telling.
Do you know if members of MDC beat up Demekion or Little D from Mechanicsville in Club Crucial?
They did. I was laughing too.
And MDC, are they from Bowen Homes?
No, that's me. That's them.
Did you tell Detective Gaither and Dennis in an interview that you were cool with MDC dudes because you grew up in Bowen Homes and they from Bowen Homes?
I'm from Canterville.
But that you spent some time, did you spend time in Bowen Homes?
I don't recall.
Okay. You don't recall living in Bowen Homes before moving to Mechanicsville?
Oh, I stayed in Bowen Home.
Okay. And did you tell Detective Gaither and Dennis that you stayed in Bowen Homes prior to moving to Mechanicsville?
I don't know if I told them that.
And that because you did stay in Bowen Homes, you were cool with a lot of the dudes in MDC. Do you recall telling Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis that?
I don't recall.
Is he just talking about Tay that passed away, the friend?
I think so. Is that Threat? Or is Threat's another person?
I think that could be a second person.
All I heard was Atlanta full of monkeys.
He said, monkey see, monkey do. We just do it.
Jesus. Let's get back to I don't recall, Woody. Come on now, don't do us like that, Woody. We down here, man.
What does it mean to claim click? You said you claim MDC. What does that mean to claim?
Okay, so they're saying that Tay is Threat.
Claim MDC. What does that mean?
Ah.
What you mean?
You said it, so I'm asking you, what did you mean? You said he claimed MDC. What does that mean?
Ask it. I don't know.
I'm asking you because you said it. So what did you mean?
That's just how I talk.
Okay, so what did you mean when you said that?
You said something about was he YSL or something. I'm just, you know what I mean? Like you can't tie my friends into what nobody else got going on. Like when you speaking on gangs, you know what I mean? A gang is a gang. That shit don't have nothing to do with nothing else.
If you
I'm sorry. I didn't.
Okay, that's all
You
right.
frustrated me up here.
That's fine. So what did you mean? I'm asking a very specific question. What did you mean when
What
you
you
said
mean?
he claimed MDC? What does that mean to claim it?
I guess we gotta Google it then.
Mr. Copeland, she's not asking what does it mean objectively. She's asking what did you mean when you said it?
I just said it, I don't know.
Now,
You okay, Lee?
To figure out what the hell's going on.
That was an interesting look. I was like, "See, all right."
You talking to Nut back in 2015.
Two girls got shot in the butt.
To give him back something.
Did that happen?
That's what Woody was talking about.
Do you recall? Isn't it true that you told Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis that prior to Nut passing away, that someone broke into his car and you ended up with the merchandise from his car being broken into?
I recall telling you in the back room somewhere in this courthouse that I lied, and I'm being truthful today by telling you that I made it up. So what I said to the investigators in the past, I came forward and told you that I was in the room by myself when I told you that. I don't have no reason to lie. Don't nobody intimidate me. I'm not trying to protect nobody, no nothing. But I'm not going to sit up here and tell a lie that I can't keep up with. That's just it. I don't know. Like, what you talking about?
Okay. We're going to get to what you told me, but I'm going to ask you first. Did you tell back in 2015 that you met up with Nut because someone stole some of his items and you gave him those items back.
I don't recall.
Okay. Now, speaking about what you told me, do you recall telling me and my investigator Long that it was actually you who stole the items and then you returned it back to him?
I paid too much.
Okay. But do you recall telling myself and investigator Long that you actually took those items, but you didn't return them?
I did tell you that.
But more importantly, that you actually met up with Nut. Do you recall telling the police that you met up with Nut to give him back those items that were stolen?
I probably did.
You probably did tell the police, or you probably did meet up with him to return the items to him.
I probably did tell that to the police.
Do you have any independent memory today of you actually returning the items to Nut?
I did.
You did return those items.
I did give him his stuff back.
So that was something truthful that you told the police.
That was.
Okay.
I don't know if I told it to the police, but I told it to you.
Isn't it true you also told Detective Gates and Detective Dennis in January of 2015 that you called Nut and said, hey man, I got your shit right here. Pull up on me. And he came and pulled up on me. And you gave him his stuff back.
Take a little bit of lie and put it with it. Take a little bit of truth and put it with a lie. That's what I do.
And
Oh my
also,
Mix
during the
this.
same meeting,
This
that
case
you
is
met
over.
Nut to give him back his stuff, you talked to him about the beef you were having with him and Kel. With you and Kel. I apologize.
Can you say it again?
Sure. In this same meeting that you gave Nut back his stuff, you and Nut talked about the beef that you were having with Kel.
So when I gave Nut his stuff back, I didn't like the way he looked at me. So we didn't have no conversation. He seen all the people I had with me. He got his stuff back, said appreciate it, and he left. So what I told investigators was, I don't know what I don't recall what I told them, but I remember giving him his stuff back, and I didn't like the way that he looked at me.
Okay. Did you remember telling Detective Gates and Detective Dennis that you and Nut had never had any beef and never had any issues?
I don't recall.
Okay. When you met with Nut, do you remember who you were with?
I ain't telling you.
Okay, so do you remember who you were with?
There was a lot of people with me.
Okay. Who were some of the people that were with you?
I can't recall.
All right. Well, you just told me that you weren't going to tell me. So
Because I can't. It was a lot of people with me.
how many people did you have with you?
More than 5.
Did Nut have anyone with him?
I think so.
Do you remember who that was?
Yeah. I don't know them by name though. He had 2 or 3 people with him.
Okay. Do you remember telling Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis that he had his brother Greedy with him?
I don't recall.
And that Greedy pulled up in the gray Impala and then Nut pulled up in his Tahoe truck, his green Tahoe?
From what I remember was I was already talking to Nut when the great car pulled up.
Okay. And was Nut in his green Tahoe truck? Do you remember?
Damn, I can't really recall what Nut was in.
Okay.
He may have. I ain't pay attention to his car. It's just the way the other car pulled up that made me pay attention.
Okay, so did you not like how Greedy pulled up?
Yeah.
Okay, so was your issue with the way Greedy pulled up or your issue was with Nut?
The way they did. I don't recall.
All
right, while you're looking through your notes, we haven't had a break in a little while. It's probably time to at least stretch. Let's take a quick break.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Wowzers. It looks like that was heating up a little bit over there.
Yeah, Woody was kind of getting into it. He's getting frustrated.
You can tell. Court stenographer stretching. She's got a lot of typing to do. Let's see if she says something after the jury leaves.
All right, we can all take a break as well. Anybody need to say anything with the record before we do that? All right.
That's it. Nose running. That's all.
Nose running. Is that how cold it is in there?
Yeah, she has it freezing. Their noses are running, guys. Their noses are running. AV, do you have any first let me see if we got any. No, we don't have any TiVo left.
Oh, that
Do
would
we
have
have
been
any
Yes, and I also realized I skipped a few earlier, so I'm gonna go back over those. So shout out to the Little Gaming.
Okay. So we back in it. We're gonna step out for a minute here and get back at a certain time. We just want to lay down a couple of things that went on today in the trial. Okay, and we want to just give a quick synopsis or explanation of what actually went on. Okay, and just give you a slight understanding from a legal standpoint of what's happening. So here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Okay, so understand that little Woody, right? Little Woody, he has something which is called right. He has something which is called use immunity, right? Yeah, he has something that is called use immunity. So what happens with his use immunity is this. Under use immunity, he's able to be immune from prosecution from things, right? That he's able to be immune from prosecution from things, right? That he's talking about, right? And what that means is the testimony itself that he's speaking about, right? That specific testimony can't be used against him in a subsequent proceeding if he was to be arrested for those crimes, for a crime related to that, right? So whatever he's saying on the stand, his immunity covers only what he's saying on the stand. He has something which is called use immunity. Okay, and the Justice Department, okay, and the federal government, they explain it to you a little bit on what it means, right? Okay, so this is what it is. Okay, so it says that Title 18 U.S. Subsection 6002 provides use immunity instead of transactional immunity. Now understand this is the federal breakdown of it, but this federal breakdown of it applies to the states, okay? Because in the end you're going to have federal and constitutional law which is going to supersede state law, right? So the state can write a law for use and transactional immunity, but it needs to be in tune or jiving with what's happening um, in the federal realm. So little Woody, right? He has something which is called use immunity. He doesn't have transactional immunity. Okay, transactional immunity, which is immunity of more protection. Okay, so the difference between transactional and use immunity is that transactional immunity protects the witness from prosecution for the offense or offenses involved, whereas use immunity only protects the witness against the government's use of his or her immunized testimony in a prosecution of the witness, except in a subsequent prosecution for perjury or giving a false statement. Okay, so essentially, what that means, let's read it again. The difference between transactional and use immunity. Now, understand Woody has use immunity. Okay, so he has an immunity, right? Transactional immunity protects the witness from prosecution for the offense or offenses that he's talking about. Okay, so the offense that he's talking about is inclusive of the murder of Donovan Nutt Thomas, right? And other shootings and murders that happen relating to the instant indictment, right? So the offense, right? That's what transactional immunity. It would have given him protection against the offense of the killing of Donovan Thomas, right? He has use immunity. So use immunity only protects the witness against the government's use of his immunized testimony, which is his, in this case, his crazy ass testimony that he gave doesn't really amount to anything, right? So, in short terms, they can't use whatever he's saying in this crazy ass testimony that he's giving. They can't use it against him. However, right? However, they can use, they can still charge him. They can charge him with the crime of murder when they have independent evidence that is independent from his testimony. So that was the essence of our entire live stream today. We wanted to break down and get into the fact, and we were just waiting for that bombshell moment. And of course, the court has seen it, and the court is disgusted by this, and so is the public, disgusted by this display of compelling a witness that doesn't want to talk. If he doesn't want to talk, it's simple. You lock his ass up, right? You charge him, okay? And you deal with the other evidence that you have to prove the case. You cannot prove your case by arguing with a witness on the stand. You need other corroborating evidence. Okay, so go this back and forth, going back with Woody is highly violative of his right against self-incrimination, because the state, right, is advising him or telling him and his lawyer something wrong, which is he's immune from prosecution. He is not immune from prosecution. He's not even immune from another county. He's in Fulton County, Georgia. Okay. He's not even immune from any of the other counties that this feud or rivalry might have spread over to it. He's not immune from prosecution in their county. He is immune from what he says on the stand in Fulton County. He is not immune from the United States, okay, the federal government, and he's certainly not immune from anywhere else in the state of Georgia that he could be prosecuted in any related time. So they're advising him wrong. Maybe his lawyers are advising him wrong. The crazy lady, Bumpus or Bump Ass or whatever, she was the worst lawyer that you ever seen before. Okay, and she advised him of crazy things. And first of all, she could have put a stop to the ex parte hearing from the beginning. But we're going to be drafting up and dealing with a complete synopsis of this case. We are aligned with Richardson Legal Research Firm. We deal with a lot of this cases, and we understand that it's not necessarily the rapper that's on trial today. It's rap music, which is on trial. And that's the reason why we're here, just to even up the score a little bit and give you a little bit of background about what's going on. There's a lot of these legal forums out here that they don't really understand the law, or they're a little bit reprehensive of giving you the true law on things. I haven't heard anything from like the guy who calls himself the lead attorney. You got the Paralegal Institute out there. You got Law and Crime out there, and you got several other legal networks that never dealt with the central nexus of this testimony. Okay, is that the bottom line is that Woody is not immune from prosecution. He can still be charged. And if you look at this, you'll probably see more than likely, because this case is not going anywhere on the state level. They already blew this. There's so many violations. And if your biggest evidence is impeaching your own witness, there's no way that a jury, even in its wildest dreams, is going to be able to render beyond a reasonable doubt guilty verdict. So this case is going nowhere on the state level. The state has even intentionally tried to do stupid things to get a mistrial. So, this case is not going anywhere. It's a disgusting display of justice, and you should know that when it's all said and done, that the federal government is watching this. There was a lot of things that happened in the case, and I'm sure that more than likely, if you mark my words, they're gonna pick this case up. There's gonna either be a mistrial in this case, or the prosecution is gonna withdraw its case. Okay, it's called noli prosecute. They're gonna withdraw the case, or it's gonna be a mistrial. And that's gonna happen very soon. Okay, and you wouldn't be surprised if the federal government already has an indictment, a sealed indictment, that they haven't released yet, and just watching it play out in the state. But this indictment was large. There was a lot of back and forth that went on. There was a lot of people that was injured in the indictment. And so, yeah, that's the bottom line. The bottom line is that somebody's going to have to be held accountable for it, no matter if the state blundered this case and they butchered it, right? They're still not going to be free to let go. They're going to be charged federally, right? And Woody, obviously, he has a strong connection, to the murder and several murders and shootings that went on. So if he thinks that he's going to walk around the street and, make tons of money and become famous, and meanwhile he's talking about these different incidents and events that happened with this person and that person, they're gonna definitely charge him. So you can look out for that. There's gonna be a federal indictment in this case, and they're not gonna play around with him. And you can see he knows a lot of things, and he's pretty much at the breaking point. So he's gonna break down, right? He's gonna break down, and yeah, this is just the beginning. This is a long road ahead. We're going to be tapping in and out, jumping in and out of it so that we can cover, a lot of the other legal news that's going on in various cases, across the entertainment industry. And so you can mark everything and log it down, that we said it here first, War and Words podcast. This case is going to be picked up by the federal government, and they're going to be charged federally, and it's just the beginning of what you saw. All of the witnesses that testified here, they're gonna be visited by, and the feds, they really don't, or not necessarily want to take this case to trial. And usually when they press you on something, they have a lot of evidence, and so they're gonna know things and have things, and resources that the state is not gonna have. And so that's gonna open up the door for them to be able to do a lot of things that that the state is not able to do. So you can look out for those facts, that the federal government's gonna probably more than likely pick up this case. I don't think they're gonna have the power to try it again. There's a lot of prejudice has been done in this case, and who knows? But this is just the beginning of it. They made a disaster of this case in the state, and more than likely the case was, it's one of those issues, one of those things when the case is a little bit big for the state. It's a lot of defendants. It's a lot of evidence and things that you have to take apart. So, despite the corruption that goes on in Fulton County, Georgia, and dealing with the different, judges or people that were involved in it, the essential nature of it is still stands that the case was a little bit too big for the state, and they kind of fumbled it. Of course, nobody wants to turn it over and act like they're gonna lose credit for it. So you attempt to attack something so big. This RICO case, it should have never been brought or charged as a RICO. They would have done better with charging it as a conspiracy, and they should have they should have seek assistance from the federal government as far as many things. And even to the amount of prosecutors that was covering the case. How many prosecutors do you need? With 25 defendants in the case, you need to gather the information and research on all of them. So this is just a beginning. We're going to tune back into several things, but like I said, it's just really, eye-opening event for me, and it just shows. And law is a thing where you just have to continue to learn it. That's why they have many CLE, and they have different things, because a lot of times lawyers, they be claiming they're lawyers and stuff like that, and they don't really be having the true information and evidence about a case, where it's going, how to apply it, and just certain things. Because, like I said, nobody, and this should have been out here from the very beginning. Nobody has spoken on the fact that yes, Woody should not have to testify on this, because regardless, the state cannot the state has no power to grant him full immunity, right? So there are things that he is saying, right, that are self-incriminating himself. He's incriminating himself regardless to anything. Even if he's playing around, he's lying, he says he's lying, he's saying he's making up story, he only makes certain things with the truth. The bottom line is that he's saying things that are gonna get him in trouble later, right? And he does not have full immunity, and the immunity that he has does not cover him against especially those crimes where there's no statute of limitation. So the prosecutor has abused him in these ex parte meetings and put pressure on him to come forth and say this and that and that and this. And the bottom line is that he does not okay, have immunity. Okay, so we'll get back to it at another time. It's been a long day for us. We it's been a long day, man. So we're gonna tap back into it in a little while. We got some other news to get with you guys. So yeah, get back with us and keep it going, man. Let's tap back into the court for a minute. See what they're doing there, and then we're gonna sign off.
Us.
Are we out of audio again? Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Now, Mr. Copeland, we just talked about MDC.
Change
And
the
I wanna
camera.
Go back very quickly to the shooting at the gambling house in Lakewood. Remember us talking about that a little bit earlier? And when we talked about it earlier, do you recall back in 2015, in the same January 2015 interview, telling the detectives that initially you all thought it was MDC that shot at you at the gambling house?
Can you say that again?
Sure.
Mm.
When discussing the gambling house shooting, initially, do you remember telling Detective Gaither that initially you all thought that it was MDC that shot at you all at the gambling house?
I know MDC didn't shoot at us. Me.
And when you talked to Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis about the shooting, you actually went into some details about what happened that night of the shooting. Do you recall doing that?
What you mean?
Like telling Detective Gaither, giving them details about what happened the night of the shooting.
I remember what happened, but I don't remember what I told the police.
Okay, what do you remember happening?
Niggas was shooting at us.
Can you
People were shooting at us.
And where were you all? Where were you standing when they were shooting at you?
Outside.
Okay, and you said they were shooting at us. Who else was out there with you?
A lot of people, little kids. I can't be specific who was out there.
Okay. Do you remember telling Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis that Thug was out there with you?
I don't recall.
Okay. And that the individuals started shooting from the bushes.
I thought that I don't recall where they were shooting at, but I thought they were shooting at.
And also, did you tell Detective Gaither that you ended up having to run behind a young woman who was out there as well?
I don't recall what I told the investigators.
And do you recall telling the investigators that at the Cascade skating ring, you confronted Kel about them shooting at you all from the bushes?
What happened in Nut got nothing to do with YSL. This some shit, screaming language. This got everything to do with threat. You know what I mean? I was trying to protect threat from the get-go. You know what I mean? Threat, and they had some more stuff going on. Like,
was Threat at the gambling house when it got shot up by Kel?
you said nothing I say can be used against me.
That's right.
Uh-oh.
Me and
Oh,
Threat
wow.
shot up Rich McCoy Daddy Barbershop on Bankhead. I don't know.
Wait, what?
He just admitted it.
He just admitted shooting up the damn barbershop.
Threat, and they had some more stuff going on. Like,
Was Threat at the gambling house when it got shot up by Kel?
you said nothing I say can be used against me.
Here we go.
Me and Threat shot up Rich McCoy Daddy Barbershop on Bankhead. I don't know what happened with Threat and Rich McCoy, but I'm a ride with my brother. And they was beefing. And yeah, we put up and did that.
Okay.
He just admitted that.
And as a result of, why did you and Threat shoot up Rich Homie Quan Daddy's barbershop?
Because I'm a ride with Threat.
Okay. Did Threat tell you why he was shooting
I
at
don't
the
ask no
barbershop?
questions. I just say let go.
Wow, Woody.
And when Rich Homie Quan's barbershop was shot up, was that in September of 2014? Do you remember?
I don't know when. I know we went up there and shot it up.
Okay. Was it before Nut was killed?
Yes.
Do you remember what happened the day that you and Threat shot up Rich Homie Quan's daddy's barbershop?
What you mean?
Like, do you remember that day? What led up to you going to the barbershop and shooting it up?
I told him let go do it.
What led up to you saying, let's go do it? Why?
Threat was mad. He was like, he fucking keep scaring my language. He was talking, playing like we somebody to play with. And I was ready. I had them choppers on deck.
Why was Threat beefing with Rich Homie Quan to shoot up his daddy's shop?
Because we didn't know where he was.
So did you go to the shop looking for Rich Homie Quan?
No, we went to send a message.
I'm watching Rich Homie Quan's Twitter right now to see if he's gonna respond.
What time did you go and shoot up?
I ain't telling you that.
Okay. Was it in the morning?
It was at night.
To your knowledge, did anyone send Threat to go shoot up Rich Homie Quan's daddy's shop to send a message?
No, he said what he said, and I told him, let's go do it.
You said that you all went to go send a message. What message were you sending?
We ain't the ones to play with.
Did something happen between Rich Homie Quan and Threat prior to you all having to go send a message?
Yeah, but I don't know nothing about it.
So how do you know something happened if you don't know anything about it?
Because I can't say for facts if it's the truth.
Now, did this shooting of Rich Homie Quan's daddy's barbershop start the beef between If Gang and YSL?
The beef was never between If Gang and YSL.
Okay.
The beef was between me, Threat, and Shell Kell. Rich Homie Quan. Because they were Shell Kell was trying to ride Rich Homie Quan.
Okay, we need to
The
diagram
speech
this.
through YSL into what me and Threat had going on.
All that recall just went
Well,
out
that
the
takes me
window,
back
guys.
to
It's gone.
the shooting at Lakewood, right?
Can you repeat that?
Sure. You just said that the streets brought YSL into what you and Threat had going on, correct? That's what you just said?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes for the record?
Yes, my bad.
So going back to the shooting at the gambling house, when you learned that Shell Kell was the one who shot up Thug's vehicle, did you and Shell Kell squash your beef when the two of you met at the Cascade skating rink?
Nothing I say could be used in no courtroom,
Oh, he's gonna admit something else.
federal or state.
That the parameters of the immunity or?
Federal or state? I don't know if that's right.
Nothing can be used.
Correct.
Oh,
And
That's
he-
a lie.
was,
When you and Shell Kell met at the Cascade skating rink, did the two of you shake hands and said that the beef was over when y'all met at the Cascade skating rink?
I put a gun out on him
At the Cascade
at
skating
the
rink?
Cascade skating ring.
Shell Kell. Okay.
Who'd you pull it out on?
Shell Kell.
And once you pulled the gun out on Shell Kell, what happened?
I had somebody with me that I didn't want to get caught up in my bullshit, my shenanigans.
Who was with you?
I can't recall.
Well, if somebody you just
I
said,
can't remember who it was with me.
okay. So how do you know you didn't want them caught up in your shenanigans?
Because I wasn't fit to put nobody else in my. I just wasn't gonna do that.
He doesn't want to snitch.
So after you pulled the gun out on him, did you shake hands with him to say that the beef was over between the two of you?
Nope.
Okay.
I pulled the gun out and let him know I could have got you right now.
Wow.
And you didn't shoot him?
No, I didn't.
All right. So did you tell the police Gaither and Dennis back in January 2015 that you and Shell Kell shook hands and said that the beef was over and y'all two were laughing about it?
Well, I'm talking to the police, so I'm not going to tell them what actually took place. If I knew that y'all was going to do what y'all doing today, I wouldn't never even did what I did.
Okay. And then after you told the police that you all shook hands, you told the police that Kell wanted you to FaceTime Thug.
Thug had nothing to do with what we had going on.
That's not what I'm asking you, Mr.
I'm
Cooper.
telling you the truth.
Did Kell shoot up or shoot?
Zoom into Young Thug's face. You see the cameraman?
Everybody got shot up, and I can't say if I never seen who actually did it. They say that it was Kell who did it.
Was Thug's car one of the cars that was shot up the night that the gambling house was shot up?
My car was shot up, and a few other cars. I didn't see the other cars because once I came from behind the wall, everybody was scared of pulling off.
So is your response that you don't know if Thug's car was shot up?
I don't recall if his
I'm
car
not
was
gonna-
shot.
Can't with
or
this
shot-
goddamn
I
mic.
doubt it was shot up because I seen it what a couple days later or whatever.
Did you tell the police that when, back in this January interview with Gaither and Dennis, that when Kel asked you to FaceTime Thug, you FaceTime Thug and said, hey, Slime, the beef over with. So Thug was like, yeah, it's over with. And then Kel got on the phone and Thug started talking. And Thug said, the beef ain't over with until you pay for my window. You shot my window.
But I told you I'd make anything up if I'm talking to investigators.
Okay. And they clarified and they asked you, is that what Kel said? And you said, no, that's what Thug told Kel.
It don't take a rocket science to come up with. I don't recall what I told investigators. I know I wasn't going to tell them that I put a gun on Sheriff Hill, and if I didn't have certain people with me, I was going to do something to them.
Okay. And that furthermore, you said, you told Detective Gaither and Dennis, yeah, he shot Thug's window. So Thug, like, I don't care about none of that, about what you all have going on. You still shot at me. Just pay for my window. If you don't pay for my window, hey man, I ain't letting nothing go. I looked at Kel and said, that's between y'all two. Do you recall telling Detective Gaither and Dennis that?
You know, I don't even talk like that.
All right. And then afterwards, they hung up from FaceTime and Kel's like, nah, man, call Nut. And so you and Kel started talking and you told Kel, just pay for the window. This shit over. And Kel's like, pay for the window? This nigga just tried me.
Woo.
Did you tell the police that that's what Kel told you after he got off the phone with the...
When I pulled that gun out on Sheriff Hill, I said, I could have got you. He went his way, and I went mine.
Okay. Do you recall telling Detective Gaither and Dennis that you actually did shoot at Kel's house back in June of 2015? In the interview in June of 2015, you actually told the police that you shot at Kel. Do you not recall that?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't think I got a chance to get him.
You said that. You told the police you shot in the air, but Kel was around. Do you recall telling the police
Can you
that?
say it again?
Sure.
I shot in the air, but what?
Microphone.
Objection happening.
All right, well, then maybe something he told the police too. I don't know. She can ask about it and he can answer whatever his recollection is of what he said to the police. Go ahead. Okay, well, that is true. So make sure that you have a basis for your questions.
Yes, I do, Your Honor. Looking at those pictures, did you also speak to detectives in June of 2015?
June? Yes.
Okay. And during that interview, do you recall telling the police that you actually did shoot at Kel, but you told them that you actually shot in the air, but Kel was around?
I love God too much to be shooting at him.
Okay. Do you recall telling the police that you shot in the air?
No, I don't even recall ever shooting in the air.
Thank you so much, Amy Lee. And shout out to
Now, I want to
Classy
go back to the
Beats.
January
Thank you,
28,
Amy.
2015 interview. Do you recall telling the detectives that you told Kel, you got a problem with Thug, you don't have a problem with me. That's over with, and y'all shook hands?
Yeah, I don't recall what I done told the investigators.
Now, in the same 2015 interview with Gaither and Dennis, after you spoke with them, Gaither and Dennis, about what led up to the shooting on the highway, Do you recall giving them more detailed information about the shooting on the highway?
What you mean?
Sure. Let me
She
ask
knows
you
what
this.
that
Do you
means
remember
now.
how long your interview was with
Sure.
you and Dennis?
They questioned me so many times.
Okay. Do you remember the interview being approximately 3 hours?
Probably so.
And in the course of that interview, do you recall talking to them about a number of different things?
Like, I don't recall.
Okay. In speaking with Gaither and Dennis about the shooting on the highway, do you recall being at a pool party before the shooting occurred on the highway?
No.
Isn't it true that you told Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis that you all were at someone's home or at the pool party and you were getting ready to leave when you saw Booshi, Booshi, get on the phone prior to you leaving the party?
I don't recall what I told the investigators.
Okay. You actually Booshi setting you up.
She know better.
Okay. But did you think, okay. Did you tell the detective you thought that she might be setting you up?
I don't recall what I told the detectives.
And you thought that Booshi might be setting you up because her family was friends with Nutt's family.
I don't know who her family friends with. I don't even know who her family is.
Woody is up
Do you
here admitting to
recall
drive-bys.
saying in that same interview that once you all left the party,
This is the same man who wouldn't tell his age. Y'all remember he wouldn't say how
you all
old he
got on
was.
the highway
Right.
and you got near, I believe it was Atlanta Medical Center back then. And that's the area in where the shooting occurred on the highway.
Can you say it again?
Sure. That after you left the pool party, you and I believe Shannon got into a car and you all left, and the route that you took was near Atlanta Medical Center.
Oh, I don't recall what I told the investigators. The truth of the matter was I was trying to protect my friend. Threat.
Okay. Were you trying to protect Threat when you all were getting shot at on the highway?
I don't recall what you're talking about.
Was Threat in the car with you when you were getting shot at on the highway?
I don't recall.
Do you remember telling the detectives that you reached out to Yet Gotti because he was dating Booshi at the time to tell him you thought that Booshi set him up?
I don't recall.